Alright, what's happening, YouTube? Welcome back to my living room. Excuse me, it is an early Sunday morning. Here is the 150-gallon planted fish tank this morning. And, I'm thinking that it looks pretty good. I don't know about you guys out there, but it's really starting to kind of come along. As you can see, there's a little bit more movement in the tank this morning. I had a school of loaches, or a shoal of loaches, in my 75-gallon fish tank, and these guys keep getting displaced. They originally lived in this tank before it was planted, and then they've been moved back and forth a couple of times as I've been trying to figure out where I wanted this tank to go. But they're back now in their home. This is where they're staying, and I thoroughly enjoy those loaches. They're my favorite kind of loach. They are, I don't know, PetSmart sells them as Angelicus loaches, I think. I've also seen them called polka dot loaches and Burmese border loaches. Whatever you want to call them, they're pretty much a joy to have in your fish tank. They love water changes. They just go completely nuts when the water gets changed. And they dig. They're like dogs that get out of their backyard and they just run up the street just sniffing everything. They're just noses in the ground and in the plants, and they're just all over the place. They're quite fun to have, and they're going to be in this tank now with the tetras and probably a couple other fish down the road. There's a good shot of the tetras looking good. No losses from the tetras between the last video and this video. Look at those guys, they look fantastic. Still eating well, still schooling well, coming to the front of the tank now even though I'm sitting right here. So they've adapted quite well. And no losses, again, that's impressive. But let's get to the plants. First of all, let's check these guys out. As you can see, these guys now, some of them are all the way to the top, almost to the top of the tank, just a couple inches away. So those guys really growing, taking off. They're not fading at all. Hey, cat. They're looking good. Yes. Same with that guy there. He's still got his stems. They haven't grown a whole lot just yet, but I don't know, we'll see. It's only been a couple days since the last video, realistically, so we'll give them a little bit more time to grow. Java fern, not much of a difference from the Java fern. Still not really spreading, but still looking good, so I'll take it. And the jungle val and the dwarf sage, pretty much in the same state from last week. Still growing. I mean, you can definitely see the new growth there. Some of the stuff is melting away. I haven't trimmed it yet. Look how good those guys look in the Java fern. They look great. Love a school of tetras, just love it. The biggest change in the tank, really, this week from last week is the Taiwan here. Now, check out those two stems compared to the rest of the stems down here. Look at how much longer. And I'll tell you, about 3 days ago, those guys were not that long. They grew about 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches, almost literally overnight. And here's how it happened. Earlier, I guess all week, and really for a couple weeks, I have been dosing my normal fertilizer schedule inside the tank. And I don't think the plants were ready for the full schedule. And I got a little algae bloom going on in there, and I decided to kind of take care of it before it got out of control. So I turned the lights off, and I kind of did about 1.5 to 2 days almost of a lights out period. And after that I did a big water change, probably about 65–70%. And the Taiwan really appreciated the lights out period. I mean, it just sprouted literally overnight with no light. So it's a huge difference. I kind of woke up Friday morning and was just kind of amazed at what I'd seen. The swords, Amazon swords in the back, still doing good. Jungle Val, still melting but coming back. Here's our little sproutling from the other video. Let's see if you can see it. I mean, there's the base of it, but the last video it had no leaves, and now the leaves are. There's one all the way up to there, and there's another one all the way up to there. So definitely some progress there. That guy's really going to town. Hard to see the rest of them because they're all along the back. It's kind of hard to get a feel for if any of the rest of them are taken off or not. Here's the sword babies. Still good. Roots looking good. Kind of liking what I'm seeing in the tank right now. Not, you know, a lot of the melting is still going on, still happening, but otherwise, it's in real good shape. Duckweed is, I've thinned the duckweed out quite a bit. That may have been from my algae, one of the causes of my algae bloom anyway, I'm not sure. It seems logical, but it was just getting out of control. You can see it already on the filter. It had piled up, it started collecting a pile up here in the corner of the tank. The filter would blow it, and there would just be a mound of duckweed like this that's down here, just collecting in this corner. And then the current would blow it under here, and it would get stuck underneath the rock, and it would look like the rock was growing like a moss or something, because there'd be a big ball of duckweed under that crack. It would collect under the wood, which, by the way, I've had this wood for, I don't know, it's been a couple years. And as you can see, it's got a hole kind of on the top there. And the wood itself is actually hollow, so it goes all the way down to the bottom. And you can see a loach tail sticking out there. The loaches have lived in that wood for a couple years. And the wood stayed up in this tank when the loaches got moved. So they were kind of displaced from their favorite hideout for a while. But as you can see, I mean, just overnight, because I just moved the fish yesterday, overnight there's a head. Overnight they have rediscovered their home again, so they're really enjoying the bigger tank. So all in all, the tank looks good. I got a couple questions today, though. I mean, I appreciate the views. I see the numbers of my views of the videos have gone up, I think, with each subsequent video, and I appreciate that. Not a lot of comments, though, so I'm going to throw a couple questions out at you guys, and hopefully that'll inspire a little bit more activity. First question I got for you, I was thinking about it when I was doing my water change for my algae bloom, is I really nurse my water changes. I'll take the tank down, you know, do a 65% water change. I'll take 65% out, but I only add about 15 to 20% back at any one time, and then I let the tank sit for about a half an hour before I put more water in. How many of you out there, when you do your water changes, do you take it down and do you fill it right back up, like just fill it up? I got burned early on in my early experiences with my very first fish tank, and I tried to do that, and I guess the water conditions just swung too fast, and a lot of fish went into shock and a couple died. So ever since then I've done it the way I've currently do it, but it takes a long time, and I mean, I'm probably going to stick with that no matter what, but I'm just curious as to the habits of all the other fish keepers out there. So how do you guys do your water changes? Do you nurse it? Or is it just kind of rapid fire and get it over with? Let me know. And the other one I got is more specifically geared to the plant keepers. The last thing I really need to do, I've got the tank going, but I really need to change the bulbs on my light. I've had that light for a couple years. I don't really exactly remember how long ago it's been since I changed the bulbs, but I need to change them. When I bought the light, it came stock with 10,000K compact fluorescent bulbs and two 10,000K metal halide bulbs, because it's, you know, mostly a reef light, but I switched them out to 6,700K for the plants. And now those bulbs are, of course, are starting to show their age. Now I need to change them out. I'm a little strapped for cash, and Coral Life bulbs are expensive. But I was thinking about leaving the metal halide bulbs alone for now. They're 6700K and they're 150 watts a piece. I was thinking about taking the fluorescent bulbs out and replacing them with the original 10,000K Spectrum bulbs that came with the light, which I still have. And they're still relatively new because I changed them out early in the process. Now, I've seen across the internet and wherever else where people use different spectrums of light on the tank at the same time. And I'm wondering, do you suggest that? Have you done it? Do you see any benefits from it? What do you think? Because that'll give me 300 watts of 6700K bulbs from the metal halide, and it'll give me another, math, 182 watts, 96 watts a piece times 2 bulbs. So whatever that works out to be, of 10,000K from the fluorescent bulbs. So 2 different spectrums on the tank at the same time. Do you think it helps the plants, or do you think it just looks good, or do you think it hurts the plants? What do you think? You can also throw in some comments here about my scape. I don't know if I'm necessarily digging the rocks and the wood. I'm thinking about maybe getting rid of the rocks. But ever since I put the loaches in them, I kind of like watching the loaches crawl all over them too. So, I don't know. Throw some comments in there. Answer your questions. Let me know what you think about the scape. Is it bad? Is it good? What can I do to be better? Let me know. But I think that'll be it for the week. Next week, I'll probably do my first trim. I'm going to trim those guys down. Trim them down, kind of get them all about even size, and replant the stem somewhere else. And I'll probably trim back all the dead sage and the dead jungle val, and maybe trim off the baby swords there, and just get everything redispersed and get rid of all the melting stuff, and plant some of the floating stuff like that jungle val right there. It didn't have any roots. Let's see if I can get up on it. Yeah, it's kind of going away on me now. Here we go. See some roots down the bottom. It didn't have any, so it just kind of floated. I left it float to see if it would grow roots before I planted it again. So there's a couple other floaters in there that I was doing for the same reason. So I'll probably get them in the tank, and we'll see where it goes. I'm going to let the Taiwan go, though. I'm going to see if that guy will grow up to the top. But that's about it. Oh, one more thing. I don't know if you can tell. Let me know. But I upped the resolution of the camera. So I don't know if the screen is any better, what you're seeing this week from the previous videos. Let me know if you can tell a difference, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. But let me know. That is it for this week. I'll see you guys next week. Later.